Hey everybody, and welcome back to more Eternal Darkness, and this is just an extra before we get started. One of the things you're going to read about if you read the prompts in this game is the insanity effect that's going to be a thing in this game. We'll get to that in a bit, as well as me finally doing this section properly. That would work a lot better on the TV I had back in college. Whenever you would increase or decrease the volume on that TV, it would look similar to that. The game likes to mess with you, which is pretty interesting and innovative for the time, but a little less effective with the way TVs are now. This game had to be pretty cool to play back in 2002. So we're playing as this chick. Again, I don't know her name. I'm probably not going to know any of these characters' names, except I think the blonde girl is Alex, the one that starts this game off. We'll see her briefly in this video, but not for very long. But I'm not going to remember the rest of these characters' names. And, not surprising, our first proper chapter of the game is in complete darkness. Hey, this game is not called Eternal Brightness after all. This girl wanted adventure. Now she's got it, Tomb Raider style. I am going to walk into so many of these throughout this game. Fortunately, they're not insta-death. Things like this are why I do not play the old Tomb Raider games. I'm pretty sure most of those kill Lara instantly. So this is kind of pace-breaking, the way the game brings up these prompts, but I figured I would show them off just so that you can have an idea of what's going on in the game if you have not ever played it. But you will have to pause them in order to read them as I go through them pretty quickly. The game was just telling us about the insanity meter. Eventually you'll start losing health if you let it go for too long without recharging it. It also told us about the finishing moves. If you do the finishing attack, that restores some of your sanity. And we also picked up a necklace which has 10 spells in it to heal you. I'm going to waste at least one or two of those, unfortunately. You have to stay perfectly still in order to activate them. That one was really weird, getting used to the GameCube controller. It's actually not a bad system, just lay all the buttons out there for you so you know what button to hit to activate each individual candle. I'm used to the PS2 style of cycle through each one, kind of like in Fatal Frame. That game had a similar puzzle where you would light some candles and put out some others. And I think it was pretty much the same exact thing as in this game. Well, going through those first set of traps wasn't as bad as it could have been. It wasn't great, but not the worst. I did mention last video I'm blind, so sometimes it does take me a little bit to find the item we need. Usually, from what I've noticed, the item you need is going to be the first one. But I didn't know that for sure. I mentioned last video, any room where there's no danger, you can save your game, so there will be some cuts in the video when I go to save my game. I'm not going to show me doing that because it's simple to figure out how to do. So I know there are switches that you're trying to avoid so that the traps don't activate. I actually did that right that time. Unfortunately, the cannon run at this I didn't do as well. So I'm actually a little more damaged here than I was going through that trap room. But I wanted to show my best run through each of these areas I could. The reason I had to redo that is because I didn't save in this room after killing this enemy. And I ended up taking a lot more damage than I needed to, and I'll talk about that in a moment. I don't know what each button on the GameCube is called. Like on PlayStation, you have X, square, triangle, and circle. I know there's an A button and a B button, but I don't know which one is which. I'm really not familiar with the GameCube at all, and I cannot read the letters on the buttons to tell which one is which. But it's one of the 2 buttons you use in the inventory. So this area here, I actually do okay not activating these traps, which is cool. But I wanted to save my game in here, but you can't.
A secret passage in the temple.
Since there are traps in that room, I couldn't save my game, and I activated them when trying to get back to the other room. So we picked up a blowgun, which is our ranged weapon, so we are getting introduced to that. And our sword is broken, which is annoying because the sword is far better than this thing. And as you saw in the start of this video, yes, you can kill this dude that we are trying to protect. We don't want to do that though, because if he dies, we cannot get our sword repaired. And then we have to go through the rest of this area with this annoying blowgun. I'm guessing that weird chanting is meaning that we're losing our sanity. Which is reminding me of a Dio song, which, if not for copyright issues, I would post a clip of in here just to show it off. So talk to this guy. He will offer to repair our sword as gratitude for saving his bitchy little life. Granted, I don't know how long he's going to survive in here, considering there's really nowhere to go. Except through traps. But we did save his life, so hooray. And I think you can talk to him again. So I'm not sure exactly which button performs the finisher. So I had to cut this back in because I thought I could save my game here. I didn't realize there were going to be traps over here. And I was ready to stop the video. So I paused the game, stopped the video, went to save, and realized, hey, I can't actually save here. And forgot to hit record when I walked from here to where I ended up saving. So I had to walk all the way back to this guy that repaired our sword just to show how I got from him to where I'm going to end up saving. Although we still are not going to be in great shape. There are enemies in here, you can fight them or not, it's your choice. I decided to so that I could save. So now I'm just trying to get back to where I decided to save, which was right in front of this door. And now we can proceed to a really annoying section. More traps. I think I actually do okay going through here. More Tomb Raider stuff. Minus the platforming. We don't have platforming in this like we do in Tomb Raider. I was trying to time that, and I guess I did okay, maybe. Unfortunately, we are going to have to go back and forth through this room, and that doesn't always go well. More zombies. Annoyances, really. Even their presence messes with your sanity, unfortunately. So sometimes it is good to kill them just so that you can perform the finisher and regain some sanity. And there's lots of chanting going on. I assume that means we're losing our sanity. I don't know that for sure, though.
Stop. Don't go near it.
So, you are reduced to feeding on flesh and bone, Mantarok. How the mighty have fallen. You will surely fester for millennia to come. A slow and torturous fate for thee. You had best leave, young fool, or you will find yourself as food for the dead god.
You are one of the chosen many. Flesh and blood. It is now your destiny to fight the eternal darkness. I give you a gift in return for an obligation. The gift is your life, sweet dancer. The obligation is this. You hold one of Mantarok's hearts. The essence of the corpse god. To some it is a source of great power. From those people, you must defend it, lest they use it to destroy what little brightness your world has left in it. Guard it well.
So I believe that god or demon or whatever that was actually healed us, which is pretty cool. So this is going to be a bit of back and forth. I'm not usually a fan of this style of game design. I don't mind backtracking, but literally just going back and forth is kind of annoying. Resident Evil 3 did this, and that's my favorite game of all time. Or at least it's tied with Tenchu Stealth Assassins. So this took me forever. Try to dodge these guys as much as you can. They're kind of annoying to fight. And now we have to go this way. And again, I'm showing one of my better runs through here. There are enemies that are going to trigger the traps. So I'm just letting these traps kill them for me. One of my attempts at doing this, I actually performed a finisher, which was nice. And I got a special animation for it, which was pretty kick-ass. But I had to do this several times because of the next room. Got kind of lucky there. I don't know how I didn't get hit. So there are a shit ton of enemies in here. They're really difficult for me to fight. And one of them is perched right where I need to go. And so panic sets in as I'm trying to activate this thing. Get to the inventory to use this. And now all we need to do is get all the way back. Which the first time that I did this did not go well because I was on a lot lower health and ran into traps. So let's see how I do this time. Holy shit. That could have been a lot worse, actually. I'm not complaining about that one. And then have to dodge these enemies again. And go the wrong way, of course. Huzzah, we made it. And I did stop to save my game there because I did not want to have to do that again. That actually took me forever to do. And anybody who wants to judge, hey, you try doing this blind. And I don't mean you've never played this before, I mean visually impaired. And I don't mean you just need glasses, I mean you can't see shit. It's not fun.
Fool! You should have run. Instead, you will die. Where is the essence of Mantarok? Where is it? I will not ask again, child. Very well, then. You will succumb to the horrors of oblivion.
Well. So much for her. This chick is the one I was talking about earlier. I think her name is Alex. So we've got one more thing to do before ending the video. Another candle puzzle. And for some reason, the controls were being finicky. My GameCube start button does not work right. I have to mash the stupid thing to get it to actually work. It's quite annoying, especially when I'm frantically trying to pause the game for something. Fortunately, this is the only GameCube game I own, so this is the only LP that will be an issue. Not that that matters to you guys. Well, actually it kind of does a little bit, because if I keep having this problem, then you're going to listen to me bitch about it. Excellent. Pick it up. Thanks. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see y'all next time with more Eternal Darkness.